Hello everyone, we are at Global Founder Weekends and I have a guest for the interview. Could you please introduce yourself and your work?
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm Mehdi Sadeghpour, CEO of Reevolve. At Reevolve, we help founders build beyond borders. We help them go global. And by that, we mean we help them in designing a go-to-market strategy, in validating their idea for international markets, in making an investable business, call it investment readiness. And also we help with startup visa and other types of entity creation or relocation services related to entrepreneurs, things they need. That's what we do.
So can we say that Revolve support founders who want to scale their business in the global market, right?
That's exactly what we do.
Okay, so how you help the founders expand beyond their business?
You see, the first, one of the problems founders do is that they equate relocation or getting access or setting up a company to success. Okay, that is not success. That is just means to success, right? So you may have a market-driven reason or an ecosystem-driven reason, and by that I mean you may want to go beyond your borders because of accessing a bigger market or people with higher purchasing power, or you may just want to go somewhere for lower taxes. You may have a reason. We help people in a structured way. We put them in our unique framework called Global Founder Blueprint. We force them to answer the hard questions, right? What is my market bet? Where am I betting my market to be? What is my differentiation? How do I know this problem exists? How do I know people would want my solution, my product, my service, right? We think making a business, global ready is much more important than getting a visa. So getting a visa or getting an acceptance in any program, any visa program or any facilitator program, accelerator program is the natural byproduct of being a credible business, having a good strategy. So that's how we help. We start with in a structured way. First, we start with validation. We ask the founders, how do you know the problem that you're trying to solve exists at the first place? They provide their evidence, and then we force them to talk to their potential customers, ask them questions about their previous behavior, their historical data, and then we have this concept called lateral validation. We continuous this validation, and there is an enough moment we call, okay, it's enough. You can say that your idea is credible. Then we're going to talk about differentiation. Why should someone buy from you instead of company X or Y? So you should have a rational answer for that. We want founders to not rely on their just intuition and don't take their ideas too seriously. So you gotta test, you gotta have a rational proof for that. So validation solved, then differentiation solved. Then we can talk about structure. We can talk about setting up a company and do the legal work. And we always go with the concept of minimum viable structure. So if the minimum structure that you need to start selling is just, let's say, a remote-led, partner-led structure, that's what you should do, because the ultimate goal is making money.
Yeah.
It's not moving somewhere, right? Moving somewhere should be the target when you need it, when it helps your business, when it helps you make more money. And of course, these are two sides of a coin. You cannot actually, succeed and make much money without being there. I'm not talking about being there physically. We have this term local enough. So you need to have that local exposure, local experience. So you either go there and gain that local knowledge yourself, or you use advisors, or there are many ways. There's not only a single way to do that, but you need that local enough experience. So having a structure can help your business side, given you're aware what you're doing. You got to do it mindfully, systematically. Yeah.
So what key advice would you give founders before entering the global markets?
Okay, first, don't equate access with success. Okay, access is a multiplier to success, but it's not success. You gotta have a solid foundation and have a solid foundation for any business, either local or global, is building something people love, want, not building based on your ego, not building based on your own untested ideas. So you should have a solid foundation. You should take validation. So number two is take validation very seriously. Talk to people. Just simply to talk to people. Not enough founders talk to people. So talk to people, talk to your customers, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your comfort zone and talk to people. Internet made that very easy.
Yeah.
So talk to people. And number three is prepare for this financially and mentally. It's not an easy journey.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of months to make that first customer out of your home market. So you got to prepare for it. You got to know, okay, it's going to take a year, maybe 9 months is a year. I should have enough financial resources. I should mentally be prepared. I shouldn't expect unrealistic expectation. I shouldn't have these unrealistic expectations about, okay, I'm going there and in 3 months I'm going to make millions. It's
not possible.
Not possible. It's going to hurt you because when you have that high expectation, the reality it slaps you in the face and
yeah,
it hurts you emotionally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from your experience, which industry or sector has the greatest potential for global success and why?
I can't say in specific industries have a higher chance. Any industry can make good money in any industry.
Okay.
But I can share with you a pattern we have observed in our business.
All business.
Yeah. B2B businesses generally have an easier way to global expansion than B2C. You know why? Because when you're doing a B2C business, you need local nuance. You need to be attractive to a local customer, a global customer, like your local. So culture is important. For example, if you come from Turkey and you want to sell in the United States, that client thinks in a different way than your Turkish client, right? So you need to understand culture. And that takes time and that makes it hard. But when you're talking B2B, culture is less important. See, because the other side is not a consumer, you're not producing a consumer level product or service. And with the same logic, software and SaaS businesses that are less culture related, right? If you're doing I can associate that with some industries too. For example, if you're doing fintech, okay, if your fintech is valid in that market, culture is not much important. Right?
Yeah.
Local nuance doesn't matter that much. Money is money everywhere.
Yeah.
But we can say B2B have a higher chance, easier way at least. Another segment are very niche businesses. Those businesses that have a very niche market because they're not going to compete with the big guys. They've determined a very niche segment in their target market, right? So this extra focus on that segment makes the competition, makes the entry easier. You're coming from outside.
Yeah.
If you're going to start with a big local competitor, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
You either have a lot of money, a lot of capital to compete with those guys, or you differentiate, or your differentiation is working on a very focused niche. That's your differentiation. There are hundreds of payment gateways. You are the payment gateways for plumbers, right? That's the differentiation. So having a focus helps a lot, starting with a small niche. And another thing, another pattern is that businesses that are solving a universal problem.
Yeah.
Problems that are not
just local.
For example, if you built a device that produces energy, solar, wind, any type of energy, that's a universal problem, right? You can sell everywhere because everywhere the logic that person who is going to buy that thinks in the same way.
And you can find a customer.
You can find a customer. It's universal. The market is huge. It's the other. It's exactly the opposite strategy of going super niche. This is going super universal, right? So energy, for example, many food products, for example, these are examples. Water products. These are universal problems, and they can work across continents, across markets.
Okay. Last question. You are helping so many people to rebuild their business in the globally. So what's your inspiration when you're doing this?
Good question. My inspiration was I got my business was damaged because of not doing this, not what I'm teaching. You see, staying too much local has strings attached. Right? You have the risk of one market. We call it one market risk. When you're doing things in one market, if that market goes boom,
Yeah,
you're boom, right?
that's right.
So
We need the options.
yeah, you need options. Building options, building and diversifying your market and diversifying your ecosystem. Connecting using good human resources in one country, good taxing system in another country, good grants, governmental grants in another country, good private sector investment and VCs in another country. So you can look at the whole world and uses it to your benefit, right? For example, at a certain stage of your business, you don't care about taxes. You go somewhere, you set up your business, you may get some governmental support that helps you. You get to some certain level, it's time to change. Taxes getting more important, you go somewhere with lower taxes. Or you want to raise funds, you go somewhere that fundraising is easier, right? So depending on the stage and depending on the goal that you have, you can use the whole map of the world into your benefit, right? So long story short, I was personally affected of this being too much local. So I'm helping people to protect their business and their future by diversifying their options.
Okay, thank you for information that you gave us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome and wish you the best.
Thank you.